If your current parenting plan isn't working, first we need to know why it isn't working. Is it not working because it's a bad plan? Or is it not working because the other parent isn't working it? That's the first question to ask yourself. If it's not working because, well, it's a bad plan, and bad plans happen, right? Sometimes when you were getting the original plan written up, you just didn't realize how important the details were. Maybe things have changed since you've written that original plan. Maybe you had a bad lawyer. Whatever happened. If your current plan isn't working, you can go to the court to request a change. That's a modification. You can request for a modification in your parenting plan. This could look like a modification in shared parenting. This could look like asking for shared parenting if your issue is sole custody. Or this could be asking for shared parenting to be terminated because you now want sole custody. But you go right back to the court that originally issued the plan and you ask for a modification. Maybe your current plan isn't working because the other parent isn't working it. You really like the plan, you just wish the other person would follow that plan. In that case, you're looking to enforce your order, or you're looking to take that other parent to court for a contempt. A contempt, or a request for enforcement, says to the court, hey, I think this plan would work if only the other person would do what they're supposed to do. The caveat here is that if you're a dad, say, who has full custody, and mom is supposed to come and get this child every other weekend, but she doesn't, you can't really take her to court for contempt. It's like taking somebody to court because they refuse to accept the money that you're trying to give them, right? Really what that mom is doing is missing out on her opportunity to have a good time with her child. What she's doing is failing to take advantage, right, of a privilege that's being given to her. So really, she's not, I hate to say not doing anything wrong, but the court can't make her, right, exercise that parenting time. It's frustrating, but it's the truth. On the other hand, if you're a dad who has custody and mom wants to come and see the child every other weekend and you refuse to give mom that time, then you are violating her rights and she could take you to court for a contempt. It's just a very interesting thing to note. You can't force a parent to be active. Not that way, as far as taking their visitation when they're supposed to. You can, on the other hand, have a person held in contempt for failing to meet their financial responsibilities. So part of the parenting plan says that dad should pay for half of the extracurricular activities, and he's not paying for those. Then yes, you can take him to court to say, hey, you should be paying half of these extracurricular activities. However, if the order says that dad has the right to attend all of these extracurricular activities and he's just not going, and even if you know it's frustrating you and it's frustrating your son, he really wishes dad would come, you can't really go to court and have the court say, listen, dad, you need to be at the softball games. There's really nothing that the court can do on that. Really, your problem there is that your other parent is a jerk. There's no laws against being a jerk. I mean, that's just real life. There are no rules against it. They're not really breaking any laws. If your other parent is a jerk, that's just something you have to deal with. And a lot of times, the reason the plan isn't working is because the other parent is a jerk. If it's something that can be enforced, right? Financial obligations or an order where you're supposed to see the child and the other parent is denying you, then yes, get an attorney, go to court, either ask for the order to be enforced, or you can ask for a modification. A modification says this plan as it's written isn't working. That makes sense in the case where the other parent's a jerk, right? They're not exercising all the time they have. So maybe you want to go to court to reduce the amount of time they have, since they're not exercising the time that they do have. I hope that makes sense.